Happy Saturday, everybody. Wanted to take you along as I reloaded a few cases here. I brought 6 rounds to the range today for sighting in my 6.8, and here they are. And what I'm going to do is convert these to Tac30 cases. These are cases I bought to be Tac30 cases. They just so happen to be manufactured as 6.8s. Annoyingly, I have both rifles, but they're pretty obviously different once they're converted. So I thought I'd just start and I'd just show you kind of how I go about it. I got a 6.8 seating die in here right now from Lee. Got to get that out of there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through the whole process quickly. Now those were reloaded with some 85 grain TSX from Barnes. They were really fun to shoot, and they were pretty stout reloads, but no swipes, no pressure signs, so definitely could step it up. I think 29.5 is the recommended, and that's kind of what I had it at. So first step is going to be universal decapping die, which is this one from Lee. And let's get that in there far enough. That'll do it. It doesn't really matter on these, just... Hey, no mouse poop this time, alright. There. Just get these out of there. So no resizing here, just getting the primers out. Because this case conversion is not 100% right now for me. I haven't gotten it down to 100%, but lately I've been like 4 for 5. So that's not even very good. I want to get better than that. Alright, all 6 are decapped. Let's get that out. Now I've had this decapping die for quite some time. Maybe I'll get it so you can see here how screwed up this pin is. It's going to be difficult. I don't know. I've bent that pin so many times on like burden primed cases. Just keep straightening it out. If you don't abuse it, it won't act like you're abusing it. Okay, now the best thing I've found so far, this is a neck sizing die, and it happens to be for a 7.5 by 55 Swiss, which doesn't, there's nothing special about that, but it's a Lee neck sizing die, and what it has in it is a very good cone, down to this decapping pin. And it's kind of intended for 30 cal, which is where I'm headed. So this has a really nice open body to it, but it has what I'm looking for, which is a nice cone, a nice taper. So what I'm going to do is I'll set this up, and I don't want to go, and I have a video kind of very briefly talking about this, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to flare the case mouth, okay? Now I've got one case here I want to be extra careful of because it's kind of dented from when it landed at the range. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Where's my garbage primers? Up there somewhere. Alright, here we go. This is the main event right here. This is the 30 Harrod die. And it's very old. It doesn't have a very good cone on the front. So all I'm going to do is kind of lean into it, and there I felt it. Now, that is going to be ugly, right? Let's see if we can see that. This is pretty ugly. Let's do it like this. See how it's like lopsided and just gross? That's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay. The other ones are probably going to be better because they didn't have a big dent in them. But what I'm just doing, I'm just trying to get a little bit. That one's not much better. Because I'm doing this because my die isn't very conducive to this. It's really hard to get lined up. So this is helping me get it lined up. All this area that I'm basically damaging right here is getting trimmed off. The case ends up being shorter. Make sure your shell holders are kind of clean. That may make a difference. But I'm just setting them all up with this tiny bit of taper or flare, I guess. Okay. And now we'll take this out. Single stage presses are really handy for this kind of thing, in my opinion. Alright, that guy did his job. Now this guy. Now, this guy was weird. I didn't have this locking ring loose in the good old days. But I figured out, that 6th primer just fell out. I figured out what I gotta do here. This was stuck on here because the old die I bought, I had a coworker clean this off for me and fix it. My boss, actually. So let's bring that down now. What I figured out was where I wanted this was, I'd bring it all the way down and then I'd wheel it back until it says Pacific Durachrome, and when the C from Pacific and the D from Durachrome were dead straight 12 o'clock toward me, was exactly where I wanted it. Basically backing off of touching. So let's do that. If it's a little less sizing, that's probably okay, but I want it to be pretty close. So there we go. That should be pretty good. Alright, now, this is the only step of this operation, other than the trim at the end. So, I'm going to call it a one-step resizing. It's not really a two-step. A lot of times you create a false shoulder, and then you fire form, and then you finish the sizing off. This one isn't like that. I'm going to put a crap load of lube on this case because I'm having trouble losing cases. So let's see what happens. So all that flare has now helped. That's really helped. So what I'm doing is I'm not collapsing the neck. In the past, I'm down to here. In the past, what would happen is the neck would just absolutely collapse on me in one side or the other, and this flare is helping a lot. So all I have to do with this is gently bring it up and in to there, all the way up. Bring it down nicely. And look at that, folks. Okay. Let me get this so you can see. All right, this has been resized. Here we go. Let's go up to the top. Oh man, you really can't see with my doggone mitts in the way. All right, hopefully you can see that the shoulder's been moved down, right? And then obviously it's been expanded from 6.8 to 7.62. Okay, so let's see if we can get some more done. Come on. It was a nice day at the range today. Nobody else was there until the end, which is kind of what you want if you're screwing around like I was. I only had 6 rounds, so it took me all of 5 minutes to get basically done with what I was doing. Someone was at the pistol range, which is always always interesting because they're down there shooting fast and I'm not allowed to because my range has all the NRA guidelines as rules. All right, this one's going so much easier because this is the magic of camera work, guys. This is the case I already resized. I've now double lubed it. You gotta love it. What a waste of your time. I am so sorry, guys. I just want to see. I got 6 cases. I'd like to save 6. Right? Come on. I don't know at what point I'm safe here. Right? Right now I can feel a lot of work being done. I gotta press or lean hard on that case. I think if it goes all the way up, it's probably good. Because if it collapsed or ruined it in some manner, I don't think it would have worked. That one worked. 2. Come on, baby. I want to shut up and just try to do the last 4. And don't be afraid of too much lube because I'm going to be cleaning these up. But you can't. I mean, I'm putting lube inside the neck. I can't load these. So they'll have to get washed. All right, boys, that's 3. Whoa. Ladies and clams. All right. Like I was saying, the reason I went to this is because I was having issues just collapsing the neck in at the very beginning. I was also using Hornady brass, which is good brass. I'm not complaining. I've used it for 10 years with no issues at all. But it's a bit soft for what I'm doing with this brass, which is running it at 99%, you know. Not a book either. I mean, we're off the charts with the book. We're pushing, we're basically creating case damage. I'm gonna show you a Hornady case that's already done. That way I can wrap this up for you. Here's a Hornady case on your right and camera right. And here's an SBC case on the left, and what you can see here is the difference that needs to be done to trim it. Let me try to get this. Yeah. Okay, so all I gotta do is trim that down a bit, and then we'll see what happens. These are fully resized, ready to go, I believe. 30 cal, and then this will be fine. So these will cycle just fine in the gun. That's what I'm up to today. So 6 for 6. That is such good news. I'm very happy.